What's up, guys? Forgive my crazy hair and me being out in the jungle, but for some reason this is where I feel at home. So I figured, I make some videos, kind of give you guys a little bit of a inside scoop into who I am. My name is Kingsley, but you guys, you call me Keyzz. That's what I go by on here. Um, I found a couple of keys in these different occult sciences, and I bring them to you guys through Discord and YouTube, but I know I've never really shared how I got into it myself. So that was really my intention of making this video. I guess start with where I grew up, right? I grew up in New Jersey, born and raised. I was actually born in Philly, and then I moved to New Jersey, and I was born in a Jehovah's Witness household. So I grew up not celebrating my birthday. I grew up not listening to certain music, not playing certain video games. I grew up not celebrating Christmas, Halloween, Easter. And I just grew up in a very religious household. It taught me a lot of great things about how to be a man, how to be a human being, how to, not serve or idolize things outside of myself. But it also didn't teach me a lot of things, how to give, how to celebrate my birthday, how to celebrate other people's birthday. So that's where a lot of my passion, a lot of my tenacity comes from, to learn about these holidays and these birthdays, and to learn about all the things that, I wasn't really allowed to learn when I was young. And I bounced around a lot, probably between the ages of like 12 and 18. I bounced around a lot. Life got kind of crazy for me. Maybe we'll get into that another day. But I really went into a place where I was searching for God. I was searching for liberation. I was searching for, something to attach my faith to that would give me power no matter what I was going through in life. And in the Jehovah's Witnesses, I found elements of God, but there were so many pieces that were missing. And fast forward, give you guys a little fast forward. Now I'm sitting here. I was like 28 last year. Last year I was 27, and I was driving trucks across the country. That's what my job was. I would travel all 50 states. I saw every country. I saw things that I never thought I'd see. In numerology, which I'll get into later, it was my 5 year, so it was a year of change. And I was very excited and I was thankful, to get to see these new things, feel these new things, but something was still kind of missing. In spirituality, I feel like a lot of times we just tell people to have faith, and we tell people to keep holding on. And I just felt like I needed a little bit more logic to what I felt inside my heart, because I found this to be true. A lot of times we got good hearts, but the information in our mind, it doesn't allow what's in our heart to be manifested correctly. And September 1st, 2023, me and my job, we went our separate ways. And I started my own business that day. And I went through a new stage of going from like an employee to a boss, and I got some free time on my hands. So what I started doing with that free time, when you got free time, what do you start doing? You start creating. You start figuring out what you're passionate about. I was spending all this time at a job, and I was the hardest worker, 16 hours a day. I was the guy who, like, I'm trying to get a straight A at work. And for the first time, I got to take all that energy, all that passion, tenacity, and sagacity, and I got to put it towards myself. So I started playing with numbers, I started playing with letters, and I originally got into Chinese astrology, because Chinese astrology, I really liked the way that they talked about the earth and the way the earth rotates. So, I get into Chinese astrology, and I'm starting to learn about the planets. I'm starting to learn about the the Jupiter returns. I'm starting to learn about some things like that. And then, ironically, from that point, my little brother kind of lets me know about a guy named Gary. I'm sure you guys probably know. And Gary tells me, Gary starts talking about numerology. He starts adding up your birthday and, talking about, how you add up your birthday and it comes to these certain numbers, right? And these certain numbers, they affect you in the way that you think and the way that you act. So I got real interested in it. Next thing you know, I joined a academy called GG33. I started learning about some numerology and some numbers and some different things. Excuse me, guys, I got a guest here taking his bike. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But what's up, boss? But I started getting into numerology, and I always noticed in front of it that they put in front of numerology they put astro, astro numerology. So we get in there and they're talking about you're a horse, you're a cat, you're a rat, you're a dog, you're a lion, you're this. And I just found it interesting, that for the first time they were able to like categorize and tell you certain things about people, right? Just based off of the day they're born, the year they're born. So it brought me a lot of interest, and I kind of wanted to see a little bit further into it. I wanted to get a little bit of a deeper insight and to see how they knew those things. So I started learning Chinese astrology. I go all in. I'm learning about the year you're born. I'm learning about the month you're born. I'm learning about the day you're born and the hour you're born and how they all got different energy. So I take that and I run with it, and I start doing a couple readings, and I come to find out Chinese is not the oldest. There's still something that is more archaic, something that came before it, something that's more detailed. And the Aquarius ascendant that I am, I had to go find out what it was. So that took me to Vedic, or what you call Jyotish. So I know people, they hear me talk about nakshatras and lunar, and deities and all these things now, and they wonder how I got there. Well, I'm letting you know how I got there. First Chinese astrology, then numerology, and then from numerology I went to Jyotish. And when I got to Jyotish, I was just like, I was blown away a little bit. The complexity, the amount of detail, the amount of layers. It was just like I was never done. And it started to make me understand that we're all the same people. We just have different placements. We all got the same planets. We all got a sun, a moon. We all got a soul. We all got a mind. We all got a father. We all got a mother. We all got these 12 aspects of our lives. And for some of us, it's a green light. For some of us, it's a yellow light. For others of us, it's a red light. And this represents certain things are exalted, certain things are doing well, certain things are neutral, and certain things they're a challenge for us. And I got into Jyotish, and the hardest part about getting into Jyotish was just the fact that everybody spoke Hindi. They were all Hindus. Even you go on YouTube and you're looking up the stuff, these people don't speak English, or they speak English for 2 seconds and then they speak Indian for 35 minutes, and it was so complicated, but there was so much juice inside the orange. There was so much information that I needed to make my mind operate correctly. And when I started learning about some of these principles in religion, mythology, all these things are what they call, the occult sciences, like mythology, understanding the aesthetic meaning behind the mythology helps you understand the planets. It helps you understand why they're calling these things angels, why they're calling these things demons, why they call one God and one the devil, And I remember this quote from this movie. It was 13 Hours. It said, all the gods, all the devils, all the hells are within us. And when I started to look at Vedic, and I started to see we all got strengths and weaknesses, and we're all battling. We're all trying to make free will work for us. So I just want to give you a little rundown of how I got to Vedic astrology. I'm not Indian, not that I know of. You know what I'm saying? I might have something in there. I got to check on ancestry. But it doesn't matter who you're listening to, whether they're black, white, Asian, Creole, whether they're 5 years old or 10 or 35. You know, something can be learned from everybody. And the reason I call myself Keyzz is because I had to search, you know? I had to search. But you only got to find the key once to open the door, you know? So all that searching, you might not have found a key for 30 years of your life. If you find the key on year 30, day 1, you know, that's all it takes to unlock the rest of life, you know? And there's another quote that I love. It says, once the mind has been introduced to a new idea, it can never take its original form. And you know, that's the way I've felt ever since I've been learning these sciences. I hope that you guys stick with me. You learn some of these sciences. I have a Discord channel where I put out my best insights. You know, I put out things that are coming to my minds. I put them in there. I got a free tier and I got a little bit more of an exclusive tier. You know, I hope that you guys join, and I'll be making some videos talking about the houses, talking about the planets, talking about the signs, so that, you know, your mind, we can start to dust off the illusion that's been put on top of it, the truth that hasn't been told. You know, and Joe Teach is a lifelong journey. I'll never be done learning it. I'll never be done studying it. But I started, and that's the reason that I could give a gift to you. So I hope you start so you can give a gift to someone else. Peace.